But everything else is still up for grabs. By the way, whoever thinks that I have the time to make 1,000 things for you guys to want to run into are sadly uninformed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like a bit too much. Of a
By the way,
stretch.
we're live.
Yeah, Bird was all like, one of the viewers said, wouldn't it be great to roll on a D1000 random encounter table? And I was like, huh?
You would?
Look, I have like 16 or 17 things on this table, and it took me hours to come up with and develop the ideas enough for them to be fun.
Oh, I know exactly how we could do it. Just drop the lowest number. Drop the last number. So 978 is a 97 on your current.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but why?
I don't know. It's different.
Like, if you don't actually have, I mean, not 1,000 options, but enough options to make it worth rolling a D1000 dice, then there's no point. Because it's not like you're actually rolling it either. It's just typing it in on the screen.
I guess.
You just let the viewers decide what they are. Make it a community effort.
Well, okay.
I
There.
feel like that's too much power.
8675309.
I just rolled a 10 million sided die.
Woo! So, anyways,
no.
we're starting the session with that. Woo!
Woo!
We're starting before 6:30.
It's true.
At least my time.
And I need to take a break. We've been at this for a long time. It's
What?
I really need to. We've just been going for a while, you know.
We're talking about Magic School
We've
Bus.
been going for 2 minutes.
Fantastic.
That's-
whole minutes.
I know, right, Burn? That's what I'm talking about. I just use like a
Okay,
drink.
so recap.
Yes, so
Yeah.
when last we left, our adventurers are on their way to go help their friend Cyber Six.
Yeah.
Just saw Lucas roll the one. I was like, sucks to me. Oh wait. So they're on their way to help their good friend Cyber Six, who is right now a metal vegetable. And the only way to help him is to bring him back home where he was built, in hopes that they can find someone capable of repairing him. Because, and it's been a little while, so I'll go over this again. His mechanical components, heart might be able to fix. However, you found out that his core, if you want to call it that, his heart, maybe his brain, you're not sure, but his core in his chest is actually made out of organic material and is far more complex. It has the complexity of, say, a brain, which is far beyond heart's capabilities, obviously. Despite Cyber Six's warnings to never go to his home, he made him to Indigo, not to you guys, but she did voice that. You have decided to help your wayward friend, and are taking a 6-month trek across the dark beyond to try and find his home. During this time, you have picked up Cathor, who is a legendary techno-wizard, to do 2 things: to make a convincing fake of the golden orb, and to teach Isaac how to be a techno-wizard.
Yay.
And in the first 2 or 3 weeks of your travels, it has been very eventful, with few exceptions. You made first contact with a planet who has never contacted anyone outside of their planet, had no idea if life actually existed outside, and you were kind enough to respond to them with children's shows.
Yeah. Specifically.
Proud of it.
Specifically
Stranger
danger shows. And then a little bit further down the line in your journey, the strange, odd thing about your ship is that the inside is its own pocket dimension, which means it is a different dimension than your actual ship is. And somehow, you guys are as of yet unaware, a tear in this dimension formed in some way, shape, or form that led to, as far as you can tell, a shallow ocean. And when I say shallow ocean, I mean that in the literal sense of, 30, 40, 50 feet is a shallow ocean.
Yeah.
So that led to some interesting issues, namely ocean
Yeah.
and ship, which saved by I dare to use nothing less than heroic efforts from Kid and a stall door.
Mm-hmm.
You managed to weld the hole shut. You weren't able to close the portal, but you were able to weld it shut. And through a few days of effort, Isaac and mostly Hart, Isaac helping us off time, was able to turn it into a glass portal. So your bathroom in the upstairs now has a window to a shallow ocean, like the biggest aquarium ever made. And that's pretty much where we ended last session. You guys are still about only 3 weeks into your trip at the end of the last session, and we are going to move on. Before I get started, are there any questions, or is there anything your characters would like to do?
I actually have an out-of-character statement for the rest of my party. So, for everyone else who has a character that might care about this, we do have a particular portal to another dimension in general. If we could put in safeguards for that, we might want to ask freaking Techno Wizard McGee over there to see if he has any expertise in helping with the situation, to have a, lack of a better term, lock the door. Not like remove it, more of like a way to have things not be able to come in.
You mean something more than transparent metal?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Something that maybe like there is no way to get through from the other side, or maybe something like that.
Sure. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm only saying this because Lucas would not care and would probably revel in the actual idea of having things storm in and him having to like stop them through piratey means or whatnot.
Oh no.
That is true. We saw how concerned and scared Lucas was when it happened in the first place. He seemed very much enjoying himself.
Well, yeah. We should get a pirate ship.
Shush.
Really
I'm
now.
tired.
Sure. So is this something you guys would want to bring up with Cathor, or?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. He would first of all, who would be bringing this up to him? Like, we don't have to rehash everything Piff just said in character, but I do need to know, like, who would be approaching him about this.
I'll
ain't
do
Lucas.
it.
I won't.
All right. So maybe we'll say this is during one of your lessons.
Sure.
And Cathor would say, "It is possible. I have been studying it for some time. It is curious. It makes me wonder. This ship, this interior," and he like reaches out and touches one of the walls, "is a different dimension than where we are normally from, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me wonder, is that hole a tear into another dimension? Or simply a tear into whatever is outside of this interior?"
That's actually a good question.
It's important to know. It depends on... It would make a difference on... Stopping someone from entering a basic and simple hole is far easier than stopping them from entering a tear in a dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Perhaps this would be a good learning exercise. Isaac, would you join me?
Sure.
And he would walk back into the bathroom, where you still haven't quite gotten the smell of fish and seawater out yet. It's almost gone, but it's not quite gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he would look at the portal, and you see, like, as you look through it, it's obviously daytime, and you have noticed, because I'd say it's been a few days. You have noticed there are night cycles and day cycles in this. However, one thing that's actually kind of interesting or fascinating is that wherever this place is, when it is in its night cycle, the plants on the bottom of the floor are actually bioluminescent. So there are enough of them, and they create enough of a glow that you can still see, with a decent amount of detail, the things in the water. The only difference is that they are far harder to discern small details, and they are far more shadowy. So, and the bioluminescence is a different, it's green and blue, so it's a mixture of that. However, at this point in time, it is during the day, for wherever the portal leads to.
Oh no.
Okay, it's not just me.
Okay.
Nope. This is for everyone,
Yep, this is for
especially Squee. Oh,
Hello?
no, he's not
No.
back yet.
How about now?
Oh,
Hello?
yeah, a bit, yeah.
Let's try it.
So I guess that thing hasn't gone away.
Nope.
Nope.
The curse.
Yay!
The curse of
The
people
curse.
using Wi-Fi. Woo.
No, it's not that. Because I'll be honest, Google Hangouts and Skype never does this. But I love Discord. So Discord, come on, man.
GM curse.
Yeah. So, what did you last hear? Here.
Let's see, you were talking about what happens and what it looks like at night. And he said, at the moment it is daytime, and then I think it cut out.
Okay. So you do see schools of tropical-looking fish swimming lazily back and forth. And Cathora would look to Isaac and he would say, have you been practicing feeling the magical power within me or Elisa?
I've definitely been practicing. I'm not entirely sure if I've mastered it yet.
I see. And Isaac, I will say that for your information, if he concentrates really hard, he can sense it. He can't control it yet. He can't do much with it, but he can sense it in himself, and he can sense it in others like Lucas or Elisa or Cathor. But It's not easy. It's not like, it's not effortless. It definitely takes concentration and energy.
Okay.
Cathor would say, go to the portal and concentrate on it. See if you can sense anything.
Okay. He'll go to it and try that.
All right. You try for several minutes, and whether it is through, you as a character would know this, whether it's through failure or the fact that there is nothing to sense, after several minutes, you don't sense anything. Any magical energy like what you sense in Cathor.
Yeah, I got nothing. Usually I can somewhat sense things, but I got nothing.
That is a correct assessment. There does not seem to be any magic around this hole, meaning that it is unlikely a tear to another dimension. It is very likely that we are enclosed within an underwater facility that makes up the interior that we live in, and is somehow magically attached to the inside of your ship.
Oh!
I would be willing to bet, not that I would like to test this theory, that if you did enough damage to one of these walls, you would open up another hole with water.
Okay. But this is an interior wall, and
Yes.
when I stuck my head through there, it was an exterior wall. I don't get that.
I understand. And if you walk on the other side of the wall, there is a corridor there. Interesting, isn't it?
Very.
What would your guess be?
Huh. The only thing that's really coming to mind is maybe the outside of this ship is underwater, and the opposite of this wall is underwater as well, but the pieces, this wall specifically, is not inside of the ship anymore. Like the ship crash landed and broke apart.
Possibly. But if that were the case, if we are in an underwater facility of some kind, then wouldn't we have giant holes everywhere?
May I make an out-of-character suggestion for Barn?
What?
Sure, I'm all for it.
If you're having a hard time figuring this out, your character's pretty smart. You might be able to roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can I do that?
I'm all for it. Yeah, by all means.
Okay. It's times 4, right?
Yes, times 4.
Okay. 29 out of 72. Hello?
He's thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
No, I think he actually cut out.
Okay. So then my hello was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost. We're almost there.
We're almost there. We got this.
Oh, we should probably learn.
Dimension.
Eh? No.
Oh my god.
You'll figure it out once he comes back, basically.
Yeah. Just so he's not wasting words.
I wish I could figure out why it is just the GMs decide, or Discord decides to do this to
So
just the
if that's-
GMs.
Curse. I already told you.
The curse,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really? Curse is the best explanation I think we're gonna
Okay.
get.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay, yeah. This isn't gonna work. You guys want to switch over to Skype or something?
Alright, I'll do that. See
Yeah. No. Or hey, Burn. Have we tried a direct call?
We did a while ago. We can try
It
that
didn't
again.
do it. No, I mean if it did this when we did that too, then I don't see why it would change.
I
It
can't
worked
remember if it...
better if I
Yeah, it
remember
worked
correctly.
better.
All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Why not?
Okay.
Well, bye.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you
Can you
there,
not hear us?
Laura?
I can
I'm
hear
there.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here, not there.
Whew. Okay, so
Okay.
I succeeded on the roll. None of that came through.
None of it.
None of it.
None of it.
whatsoever.
We literally succeeded, and we basically heard nothing back. You didn't even start anything.
Okay. Well, first things first. I was wondering why none of you rolled initiative.
Oh, okay.
Fine, okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, fuck!
By the way, yeah, Kid's half dead because she just wouldn't take her turn. I don't know what's
God
going on.
damn it!
Nah.
Oh, kids hopped out. Oh, shit, we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say next was only one still alive. So no.
Oh, good.
All right. So
There's not
yes,
a
you
team of
succeeded. You
characters.
succeeded by quite a lot, actually. So you think about the implications of what Cathor was saying, and that if you are really in a facility that's underwater, you have been able to very faintly, and asking Elisa, she has confirmed it, feel a very small magical presence spread out. It's not centered anywhere. You can just feel it in this area, and it has always kind of been assumed that you're in a pocket dimension. Of course, you're going to feel magic around you to a small degree, right?
Yeah.
But if what Cathor's saying is true, and it's possibly it is, that means that theoretically speaking, the only magic portal would be your hangar bay, and everything else would just be a facility under an ocean. So then why would you still be feeling magic, even if faintly, around everywhere? Unless this magic is intended for some other purpose.
Huh.
Can I make a roll to determine if this magic is sinister or not?
I mean, no, you'd have to cast a spell.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That was 100% a joke.
Yeah.
It's not clicking for me. I'm just gonna say that Isaac doesn't understand.
Well, I mean, like I said, from the roll, I mean, that's picking up quite a lot from what little Cathor said.
Mm-hmm.
So, would Isaac mention such things, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cathor would nod, and he would say, "That's very perceptive, Isaac. There was a theory when I was young that techno-wizards in my college would discuss a form of architecture where the inside could be modeled in almost any shape you liked, but the outside would be a perfect structural sphere. It is easily to move or to defend, and all of the walls could be of equal thickness and far thicker than the insides of the interior would suggest. The magic would be used to warp your perception so that you feel and, for all intents and purposes, are in a layout that is anything but a sphere. But if you were to ever view it from the outside, that is what you would see."
Oh. So we're in a sphere and the outside of the ship is underneath an ocean.
Yes.
Okay.
Take a look. And he'll point to the side of the portal. The thickness of this wall. And he'll point, basically he's pointing to the thickness, when you look through the portal, the thickness of where the wall starts and where the wall ends is about 3 times the thickness of the door to go to the outside hall.
Ah. Interesting.
He nods. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder how this hole was even made in the first place. It would take an enormous amount of energy to break through something so thick.
Yeah, that's a good question. Although technically, that hole was a holdover probably from the old ship. We had a hole in one of our walls and made by Kid, and we hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet until, well, before we got this whole bigger on the inside thing.
Interesting. That is possible. Magic is far from perfect. One of the reasons why I despise it. My best guess would be...
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit. Why?
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello.
Plagued by
Yeah.
constant disconnects.
It's weird. It never happens in Skype or Google Hangouts. Oh, you know what? Believe it or not, when I'm hanging out on Piff's server, I don't think it's ever happened there either.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, curse.
Or when I'm in Rifts. Never happens in Rifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Curse.
only Inferno that disconnects in Rifts. It's
GM
the GM
curse.
curse. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. All right, guys. Actually, while we're waiting, I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You want to grab something?
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties.
What else is new?
I don't know.
That was more of a rhetorical question.
I know.
Hey,
I'm just
so we're
being a
gonna...
butt.
Okay, there we
Haha.
Rude.
That was annoying. Anyways.
Ha!
Um,
Discord keeps rolling criticals against GM.
for some reason your microphone is super low, Elora.
Me?
Yeah.
How's this?
Good.
Perfect.
It's
Okay.
real good.
Awesome.
Oh shit, my dad's... Oh, wait, no, that's not for another month. Okay.
We.
Sorry, thinking out loud.
You stop that.
I do need to stop doing that. To be completely honest, I also need to... Okay, nope. You need to stop doing that now.
All right. What was the last thing you guys heard?
Shit.
It was good
Let's see.
timing.
I think Cathar was about to explain something. Like, he was just like, yes, this is the thickness. And they're like, ah, yes, the thickness and all that other stuff. And you've been...
Oh, okay. Got it.
And then he's
yeah.
just like, what my theory is, and then just stopped there.
Yeah. Like immediately as I said, okay, let's Skype.
He just stopped with his mouth open.
Like,
My
With his
theory is-
finger up.
Oh, oh shit, he's
You
a
see-
hack.
You see his eyes looking around, frightened, but nothing else moves.
waist back and beer. Back it?
All right,
Oh. Piff.
Yeah.
After this, I'm gonna have to ask you a few things for your Discord server, like what
Okay.
settings you have and stuff. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
So he would say, my theory is something along the lines of what I explained. Probably not precisely. The problem is, without going out and exploring, it would be impossible to say for sure. To answer your question, however, of is it possible to keep things from coming in? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we
Oh,
Oh,
can.
good. Okay. No one said anything, so I was like terrified that it wasn't
Because
working.
I was on mute.
Okay. No, I'm skittish. All right. He would say, as for your first question as to whether or not we can securely close it up through magic, such a thing would be simple to do. In fact, perhaps we should make it your first project.
Yeah, sure, that'd be cool.
It would be simple to make, though what I will leave up to you is the method of the key. What will open it? It could be something as simple as using mystical energy, though that would mean that anyone with mystical energy could open it. Or perhaps you make a simple spell or phrase to say. I will leave it in your capable hands.
Well, I'm still new to this whole magic thing, but can it be anything?
Within reason, yes.
Can it be DNA?
He pauses and goes, well, that's a bit more advanced, but absolutely. We are, after all, teaching you to fuse magic with technology. You could attach it to a retinal scanner or a bioscanner or a bit of blood or anything of your choosing if you have the equipment to make such a thing.
Well, the ship is equipped with biometrics. We have a database on the ship, and everybody that's been allowed on board, including you, has been scanned and put into the database. Otherwise, we have several traps that Hart has made that will go off on you.
Well, they wouldn't go off on me in here. Only if I was in the other, shall we say, the other inside of the ship.
Oh,
Did you never
shit.
stop to consider that those traps do not transfer to this place?
No. Damn it. Okay.
That, actually, he pauses, should be our next project after this one. Developing a way to choose who enters which ship.
Yeah. Yeah, we should definitely do that.
It will take some time. As you said, you are still a novice, and that would not be an easy thing to make.
Mhm.
For now, let us continue your lessons. And why don't we say, over the next, we'll say the next month, Isaac's first task, along with learning the magic and building, is to create a lock. The door per se of whatever you choose to make will be held shut magically. And here's the thing: it will cost PPE to keep it running, but not very much. Basically, excuse me. It would cost about 5 PPE per day to keep it magically shut. So per 24-hour period. Unless you wanted to, say, fuse it with a PPE battery, and then you could charge up the battery, and then it could run for several days. But whatever, that would be the way it would work. It would be sealed magically, which, and he'll point this out, that doesn't make it impossible, but extremely unlikely someone's going to be able to get through it. They would have to have very, very powerful banishing magic. And certainly no technology that he knows of would be able to get through it.
Okay.
He would leave the manner of how it's decided up to you. And the crafting of it, he would leave mostly in your hands, because most of it Isaac would be more than capable of doing on his own. He would step in to help the fusion of magic and science, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But you find that Cathor is a good teacher. He's very, very good at explaining things in a way that I'm not going to say are simple to understand, but are very easy for someone of Isaac's mental capacity to pick up.
Okay.
And he's incredibly patient. So we'll say that over the first month, Isaac is making that. It will take 1 jewel, though what jewel, really, it doesn't matter. It just needs basically a core.
Yeah.
And it's not a very complex device. So we would call this a simple device.
Okay, cool.
And the only reason why it's taking a month, of course, is because you're learning how to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll say that. So in a month, so basically once you get to a month and 2 weeks in, you guys will have installed I'll leave the specifics up to you. You as a party, or you guys can decide, like, is this an airlock? Is this a door that you can actually open? That'd probably be a horrible idea, but is this, like, what is the specifics? I'll kind of leave that up to you. Let you play around with it.
Okay. Yeah, we can determine that out of session.
Okay. Now, I have a question for Lucas. And for Piff as well, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is kind of out of character.
Okay.
Would Lucas at all tempt or be convinced to help teach Isaac magic? And if the answer is yes, then I will be willing to include a few low-level ludicrous mage spells as part of spells he could choose to learn.
Well, if that is the case, he would definitely get bored once he gets through his spells that he still has to learn, and definitely get tempted to be like, hey, if you do this for me, I got some spells in it for you. And then just like, yeah, absolutely. He would definitely want to do that.
Oh, and I mean, that absolutely. There was a little miscommunication, but yes, that is fine. I was saying that, and Isaac, this is important for you. When the 6 month is up, I'm going to basically give you a list of these are all the spells you could have learned. Choose a few of them. Like I haven't decided exactly how many, but if Lucas is one of your teachers, some of those spells will be from the Ludicrous Mages.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously, I am more than happy to give Lucas the chance to learn some Ludicrous Mage spells as well.
Okay. So, yes, if this is after the, like, you said month and a half from...
Correct. Okay, yeah. This wouldn't be something we'd have to do right now. I was just more curious as to if this is a thing that we can say has been happening over the course of, like, if you want to have, and it doesn't have to be this session or whatnot, but if you want to have like a role play where you give Isaac a lesson, I'd love it. But we can also just say too that Lucas did so.
I can definitely role play it.
Sure.
Lucas does have just spats of like boredom and things like that, and sometimes he would just try to do something to occupy his time. And teaching, as much as he doesn't care that much about the actual teaching, he'll probably have something up his sleeve to at least be very similar to teaching.
All right, so Byrne, that's something to look forward to. Lucas is going to give you a lesson.
Okay.
And in return, actually, Piff, Cathor would be willing to share with you a spell that he thinks would fit your Lucas's demeanor, which is basically a globe of daylight spell with one exception. It is a globe of blacklight spell.
Okay.
So it creates literally a sphere of blacklight.
Okay. That's kind of neat.
Great for use in hotel rooms.
Right. Right.
Oh my god.
Right. Yes, I think you'd be interested in that. Not extremely interested. It's not something that's just like, oh man, this is gonna be great. It's more just like, you know what? Yeah, I would like. I know this is probably not like the craziest off the wall, something that I can really just like pull out and make a person smile, but hey, it's something other than sitting there and twiddling his goddamn thumbs.
That's true. Now, you don't have any idea if what effects this would have on vampires. Basically, it creates a small, deep purple orb of light that you can actually take with you, and it makes everything glow strange colors, just like a black light would.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right.
We got all that.
Yeah, and then if you want, like, next session or sometime later when you have an idea, you are more than welcome to roleplay a lesson with Isaac. I think that would be very interesting to see. So, anything else that players would like to ask or questions you'd have before we move on in the journey?
Do you want to do the lesson thing now or later?
Oh, hell yeah! If you're ready, I am all for it. If Isaac's for it.
Sure, why not?
We'll say,
is the rest of the group good with that?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question: how long would it take Lucas to learn most, if not all, of his spells?
He's actually a person that's pretty magically attuned and pretty like natural for magic stuff. A scroll to learn a magic spell, just left to his own devices, would take about a week.
Okay.
The spell tapes are a little different because it's not something that he can do hands-on. He has to wait for the instructions to come, and as well as his attention to just retain audio and do nothing else other than just like listen. But for magic scrolls, he can easily, like, if he focuses, it'll be a week.
Got it. All right. Then we'll say this is 6 weeks into the journey.
Okay.
Enough time to, where Lucas has either learned all of them or he's close to learning all of them.
Yeah, he's let's see, week and a half. Let's see, that'd be 3 weeks for. Yeah, no, he learned all of his extra bits. He's actually just tapped on. Right.
Perfect. So yeah, this is the time where Lucas he's learned it. He's bored now. 6 weeks in, you guys have all been in space without any civilization for 6 weeks.
And he's just like a few days after like actually occupying his time with like learning spells, and now he's getting a bit antsy.
All right. I'll pretty much leave that up to you. Normally, Cathor teaches Isaac in the modification shop, i.e., because he's a techno wizard. But really, if Lucas is giving the lesson, it's up to him where it is.
That's true.
He would probably be like dawdling around and probably find Isaac somewhere. Where do you think Isaac would be in like a random spot?
Morning, noon, evening.
Probably noon.
Okay, modification workshop. Because he's still spending all of his time trying to figure out the whole the porthole idea, which we're still figuring out.
So he starts like going. You can hear like maybe like doors opening and closing down the hallway, and him popping in. He like opens up this door, sees you inside. And he peeks in. He's got like big eyes and just like looking in like he's like a scared rodent, like seeing like a card pass or something like that. Hey, Isaac.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, yeah, you still learn that technology wizard.
Yeah. Right now I'm working on something I'm still trying to understand, but yeah, what's up?
No, that's cool. And would you want to? Oh, I don't know. I know a lot of magic stuff. He doesn't seem to really be like doing the whole magic end. If you wanted to learn like something else, if you want to know more of the magic side of whatever the flip you're doing, yeah, I can definitely do that. I mean, I'm a busy man, but if you wanted to do something, I mean, if you wanted to do something, you would be really you could do that. I mean, I'm taking a little bit more time. You could do that if you wanted.
Lucas, you're getting in my personal area.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
I can tell that you're really excited to teach me a spell. How about we do that? As he puts down his tools, his soldering iron, and all of that.
Oh, teaching you a spell. You can do that? You can... Alright, Ooh. And he starts, like, rummaging around in his bag. He goes, this one! As he pulls out a scroll with obvious crayon markings all over it. He's like, can you read this? And it's a level 1 ludicrous mage spell scroll.
I'll open the scroll.
Surprisingly, Isaac, despite it being completely covered in crowns that really says nothing.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand. He can't read or write.
Yeah, he can't write. You can understand the scroll. You can read as if the crowns weren't even there. Even though they are there, it's actually almost a surreal experience.
How?
Well, you see, I decided I didn't particularly like what was written there, so I started writing my own stuff. I'm more of just kind of have sort of picture things and how magic would actually flow. So hopefully this is something you can at least... I mean, I don't have the best handwriting, but I think you can find out that...
I think it's a neat idea. What are you trying to show me?
Oh, this one's a bit of the basic ones. This one's a bit more of like you can touch kind of areas and things and whatnot and change its color.
Oh, is it permanent?
No.
Oh.
I don't really do the whole permanent things, except for the. Is he then like? You hear just like a sudden like chattering from the other room. Yeah, that.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I don't really know why they don't go away, but they don't.
Because, this could be useful every once in a while in case we need to disguise the ship.
Oh, if you need, geez, ship, you're gonna need a lot of magic for that. It's more of like you want a nice wanted your bike to be red or something.
Oh, so it's a small thing.
Oh yeah, it's more of like items, people, maybe your horse.
Red horse. Okay. I like this. So, do you want to teach me how it works?
Oh yeah. Well, this should be easy enough. I've done this plenty of times. And yeah, if you got any questions, I can try to figure that out. I can also just do the spell. Maybe you're more a hands-on, more of a looky sort of person.
Yeah. Please, just demonstrate it to me a couple of times, and I should be able to figure it out, honestly.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
He starts looking on the shop. He's like, this table. And then he does a very quick incantation and taps it, and it becomes like neon green.
Okay. Isaac's gonna take a pen and try and write on the green. Does it actually change to does the ink actually stay black, or does it not work?
I think that's more of a GM question. I can.
Yeah. So here's my take on it. The spell, being magic, would literally just change the table's material to be the color green, which means that you could still write on it. It would just look like what it would look like if the table had always been neon green.
Yeah, that would be my thing too.
I like this. I like this quite a
Or
bit. Thank you.
take over all the color that it has on it at that point, and then once you do anything on it, that would be kind of a separate, definitely show up on the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Really good for disguises.
Yeah, and if you can control enough, you can do something like this, as he then does another incantation and kind of rubs the side of his face and making kind of like a blood smear on it.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah,
That
I had
looks-
to do that for I had to do this for a lady back at is it Siren?
Oh.
So-
Huh. Okay. That's very realistic. Okay. I wonder if I could create a paint like that. One that would be translucent, like a clear paint, but it's magical so that you can change the color for a certain amount of time. And then it changes back to clear.
And Lucas would probably notice, there is dyes that kind of stay a color and kind of doesn't come off in most cases.
Well, yeah, but that's not what this is. This goes
No.
back. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's say I were to cover this table with that clear paint.
Yeah.
Then I were to want the table to be blue. I infuse the magic into the paint, it turns blue.
Mm.
Then after a while, it turns back to clear.
Okay.
Might be neat.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the first application I can think of for that.
I don't know. I just kind of some people like to walk up in their big bad power armor, and I just want to turn it pink every once in a while.
That's good. Oh, I wonder if... What if you could make a projectile or something that hits something and turns it pink?
Yeah, that would be useful. A lot of times you kind of have to touch the person.
Yeah. Yeah, a ranged option would be really neat. Kind of like a paintball gun. As Kid says
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
chat.
All right, you focus on learning this spell now. We got things. We got goals now.
Yeah, we got goals. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be neat.
All right.
Oh, I wonder what the application would be if you were to actually hit somebody's visor. Because it would be a solid color. Huh.
Tried
Technically,
that a few times.
from a GM, it wouldn't be a solid color. It would be a tinted visor.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, it'd be
Lame.
like you could change it red, and their clear visor would suddenly be like wearing red rose glasses, but they could still see.
Yeah, well, then they can see reality in rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. All right, so just to let you guys know, excuse me. Well, I knew it was a role play, so I didn't want to say anything, but no, it's Lucas is going to have to show you quite a bit more than just a few times, and you'll pick it up. It's not you're not quite that fast. Yeah, but but yes, for intents and purposes, we can say that he's teaching you that spell. I just had this image of Isaac making guns that change your blood into party colors, so as it spouts forth, it just looks like neon colors.
That'd be neat.
See, at that point, Lucas can cast the globe of black light, and then we can just have a party.
Yeah, we can just kill somebody, have a party.
That,
Fantastic.
Or party on their
teamwork.
grave.
Yep.
That's
Teamwork.
called teamwork, my friends. All right. So that's good. Okay.
You like where that went?
Yeah. So you guys are about 6 weeks into your journey, a month and a half. Anyone want to roll on the random table? Oh, okay. Hang on. Kid's got something.
Oh, I was gonna say real quick, kids actually going to be spending less time in their room, and they're gonna be hanging out where Cyber 6 is hibernating, shall we say.
Okay. Oh no. Okay, so as you know, Indigo is almost constantly in that room.
I believe she's pretty much moved herself in there.
Pretty much, yeah. So the first day or two, Indigo would make a couple attempts at small talk. I'm sure Kid probably wouldn't be that receptive, maybe one-word answers or whatnot, unless for some reason you think Kid is feeling talkative.
I mean, it's not so much that they're just really bad at it.
I know.
They're really, really bad at small talk.
So here's what happens. Would you say that this would go on at least for a week or so?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's what happens. First day or two, she tries some small talk. Doesn't take that well. Kid's not rude or anything, just not a good conversationalist. So Indigo, either realizing that or thinking maybe Kid wants space or whatnot, kind of stops. And so for another day or two, you guys are just comfortably quiet in there. The silence is comfortable, I would say. If it was uncomfortable, then why would you be sitting in there? But a strange thing happens through Kid's lack of talking, and being in there on a regular basis. After about a week or so, you find that Indigo begins opening up and just talking to Kid, mainly because she knows that Kid won't talk back very much. And there's some weird disconnect with that, where it's almost like she can talk about things to someone without having to worry about them judging her. She goes into a great amount of detail of the times when she was the slave of a Splagorth and how difficult it was, and the things that she would have to do, which are, even from Kid's point of view, pretty horrible sometimes. I mean, this girl was a slave to one of the most brutal societies in the universe, and she was a slave as a warrior. She was used to train. She would tell you these blind Amazonians, or not Amazonians, sorry, Atlanteans, which, from what she tells you, is a warrior race of women who are blind but incredibly skilled warriors, and she was basically their punching bag. And it just kind of goes on with that. She'll talk about meeting Cyber 6 and how she was actually assigned to go kill him and failed miserably. And instead of him killing her, he decided to actually go back to where she was held captive and rescue her. And how they became friends, and he convinced her to become a Corsair, and that. She tells Kid everything.
Oh. Oh my god. All right. So at first Kid would be kind of like half listening, but after like a while, like maybe an hour or so, like anytime she would be talking, they would just honestly have their full attention on her. And when she's talking about like her time like fighting and being a punching bag, they just kind of have this sympathetic nod. And it's just there's not a lot of commentary on Kid's end, but there's a lot of outward sympathy and acknowledgement and understanding towards what she's been through.
So, as a strange side effect of all this, you find that Indigo begins to be, not that she was ever uncomfortable around you, but she tends to start enjoying your presence. It's not like, it's definitely not the same kind of relationship she has with Cyber 6 or Sarah, or even the one she's kind of making with Anna. It's much more a thing of, it's just comfortable when Kid's around. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I love Indigo. Yay, okay. Awesome.
I was just sitting there thinking, like, what would happen if there's someone in the room for so long that doesn't talk to her? All right. So that happens.
Changes my mind slightly, or makes me feel a bit more guilty about an idea I had.
Uh-oh.
Well, first of all, these computers in the cockpit, can Anna put the data on one of them for now? Okay, so then Kid still has access to their videos, at least.
You find that
You find
believe
porn?
it or not, no, you yes, because Kid didn't know what they were getting. Which is a good question. Would you keep it or delete it?
You know, I had a really good joke I thought of about that a couple days ago, and I forgot it.
I suppose the real question
It depends
is...
on the quality.
Yes, thank you, Vern. It probably depends on the quality.
Well, most of it's parodies of kid shows, so...
Oh no, delete.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. Kid
Now
was
we gotta
searching
bake
for
a
kid
pretty
shows,
cake.
and yeah...
Oh, God!
Most of them, she was searching for kid shows, and she didn't understand Rule 34. That's what happened.
Yeah, those are being deleted.
Yeah.
Kid is now safe.
It's like, all right, maybe there's nope. There's nothing good there. There's nothing good.
Just get
gone.
this milk.
I mean,
get this white
there's
milk.
12,
Shut up.
God, Vern.
There's 12
I'm sorry.
gigabytes. There's got to be something. No, there's not. All right. No, I was gonna say what you find is that those computers are all networked. Specifically, these 4 computers and these 4 computers are all networked. They're very highly advanced, actually. They're not unheard of. It's not like the technology is beyond what Anna understands, but it would be like...
New toy?
Exactly. Like, this would be top of the line, water-cooled gaming rig computers that are all networked together. Very high processor rates, very highly advanced, and lots of space. You would also find that these 2 computers here are sensor datas of the ship. They are very detailed, far more detailed than the average sensor system of a ship, being able to give you precise data about, for example, damage to the ship, where it is, how bad, even, and we're talking about, and most ships can do that, but we're talking about even in minuscule quantities, i.e. a small asteroid hit the ship and cause a dent in it, you can pick that up on these sensors.
Does it show the inside of the ship?
No.
No, okay,
These
yeah,
are
right,
connected-
interdimension, yeah.
Yeah, these are only connected to these connected. I should say these only display the outside of the ship. Now
Yeah,
that I should say it does show the inside of the real ship, not where you are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So yeah.
My second idea was Anna was going to ask Indigo to help her test out the new boots.
Sure, she'd love to. Indigo, don't get her wrong. Indigo loves to train. She loves to fight. That's never changed. And in fact, that was one of the ways she and Isaac first kind of became friends. Was that? So she would be more than happy to help you try them out.
Yeah, it's just timing. Except for Anna doesn't know any of
I
that
understand.
happened too.
I understand completely. You will find out, Anna, since you are trained in martial arts. You find that when you spar with Indigo, because you never really sparred with her before, but when you spar with Indigo and you try out the boots, you find out that Indigo is highly skilled and almost exclusively trained in boxing. She is basically what, if a real boxer was thrown into real fights, that is what she would be. She almost never kicks. Almost everything is with her hands, but her ability to bob, weave, her footwork, and her strikes are incredibly powerful.
Honestly, Anna would probably definitely understand that since she also has boxing.
Ooh. It'd be like she concentrated on boxing to the exclusion of everything else. And you'll find, believe it or not, she actually uses the peekaboo style a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what that is. That's basically where they have their hands up. They put their fists together and put it up in front of their face, so where all you can see is their eyes, and they kind of weave back and forth. She explains that she uses that a lot because she's smaller than most of her opponents, and she has to get in really close.
That's probably not helping with Anna and 6-inch heels.
It would, I know, right? It would probably look adorable if it wasn't for the intensity of her eyes. That just kind of makes it look fearsome.
Honestly, that would just make Anna love her more.
Yeah. But sure, she would be more than happy to. In fact, she'd be happy to turn it into like a daily event type thing, like a sparring session.
Done.
All right. Okay. So 6 weeks in, not much to note of the NPCs. Hart and Isaac, and everyone can tell this by now, they're getting pretty close. They're spending a lot of their free time together. Sometimes Tessa will complain that Hart doesn't even come to her room at night. Lucas already found that out.
Yep.
Tessa is Tessa. She's fairly bored, but she doesn't complain about it. Anna, it's easy for you to see that she is very bored, but she would never mention it or say it. She doesn't really have much to do. She spends a lot of time in her room or in the Starluck Lounge, and she kind of just whittles the days away by watching things, reading things of that nature.
Yeah, Anna would probably make at least an effort to spend some time with her every day too.
Sure, and she's the typical younger sister of. She acts like sometimes. No, she never acts like it's an annoyance, but she acts like it's not necessary. But she never turns her older sister away, obviously. And there would probably be at least a few times where you guys find yourselves up late into the night laughing about this or that.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Okay. Elisa spends a lot of time with Isaac training him, and the rest of the time she spends usually in quiet meditation. You find that almost the opposite of Tessa, this girl, Elisa, does not get bored. She seems very, very content to sit in one place for hours upon hours and reflect inwardly. Whether it's through training or just her temperament, you will find many times that you'll pass a room and she'll be sitting there quietly, and then like at the end of the day, you'll pass the room again and she's still there and seems quite content by it. Sarah seems to be a bit all over the place. She takes the time. She's studying a lot. Any information she can get on the outer rims of the galaxies or the in between the galaxies, she spends a lot of her time reading. And she is social, but generally speaking, when the group's social. In other words, if everyone's gathered together in an area, she's there, and she's has just as much fun as everyone else. But she doesn't typically tend to start many interactions, if that makes sense.
Is she still trying to get that information out of Anna?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. She's still trying to get.
Just to annoy her, she'll probably tell her other like vague details about her backstory, but never, and maybe even like other exes, but never address that one ex.
Got it. Sarah seems to take this as more of a challenge than anything else.
Yeah, no, it's a challenge for Anna as well.
And then Cathor actually spends, if he's not training Isaac, he spends his time almost exclusively with the golden orb, the fake one, not the real one. He hasn't even touched the real one yet. He spends most of his time intimately studying the fake golden orb. And he will at one point comment, probably to Lucas, because at this point Isaac's still, I'm sorry, other way around. Probably to Isaac, because Lucas is far more magical than technological, that this golden orb in and of itself is far more complex than even his training orbs.
Oh.
Technologically speaking. And he's amazed that you were able to find someone that could make a duplicate.
Oh. Well, it was the same person that made the interior of the ship, so...
Oh. And you know what? I take that back. At some point, Cathor would find Lucas and question him about the person who made this orb.
Oh. Okay.
He would basically say, actually, sure, we'll play it real quick. He'll be like, Lucas, can I borrow a minute of your time?
Lucas is probably like, he probably has like is staring at some gloves he probably doesn't recognize. And then he goes, yeah, we can talk.
This fake, and he holds up the golden orb. The person who made this, who are they?
He looks at the orb and goes, oh yeah, well, it's a bit hard to pin down, but say an old rival of mine. Well, but half and half, I guess.
Is he a skilled engineer or techno-wizard?
No.
I find it strange that he was able to make such a complex device, then. I don't mean to insult you, Lucas, but I believe the creation of something like this is far beyond you.
Oh, behind me? Yeah, no. If you're saying it's some sort of technological thing, absolutely. So it's, think of it more as the person had an ability to kind of, how do I put this, photocopy the characteristics of the orb. So he didn't really know, like, the intricacies of it, more of just kind of had the ability to kind of just copy its physical form, I guess. I don't know entirely what that thing does.
Copy it with magic?
Yeah.
He's quiet for a very long time, and he would say, the core fundamentals of techno-wizardry is to use science to funnel the abilities of magic. If what you're telling me is true, this man uses magic to funnel the abilities of science. I do not think I like him.
No, if you even think that like I'm out there, you would hate that guy.
He goes, I do not hate you, Lucas.
Oh,
but
you.
I may not like this guy.
I don't like him either. Well, sort of. See, that's the thing. He's more of an avatar of someone else. He's powerful all on its own, but the guy he's attached to, oh boy.
So he's using magic that he hasn't even earned himself.
Oh, no, it's more of a punishment.
He raises an eyebrow.
Well, now think about this. You want to be stuck at the top of a temple going like, I am now the avatar of this dude, which like has like nobody around anywhere and just sitting there going like, I wish I could do something, but I'm stuck here doing the will of someone else. Terrible.
I could see that. Well, then good. It suits a man that would use magic on science like this.
Yeah.
And Cathar would go about his business. So, 6 months into the journey. Oh, right. And I'm sorry, I forgot the last NPC. Cyber 6 does nothing. Yeah.
He just magically heals and starts walking around the ship one night.
He lays
I
there.
think you
Why?
forgot. I think you forgot an NPC.
He's not real. No.
Oh,
Quicksilver. Quicksilver's very very easily entertained, especially with the new plethora of children's shows that suddenly got was inserted into the ship's computers. He doesn't know where it came from, but he's happy.
Oh shit! That means anyone can access Anna's files.
No, and I would
Okay.
say that you could protect the ones that you.
Okay,
you
good.
find.
Oh, this is her actual profile now.
Oh, look at this. There's a bunch of kids shows. There's 300 terabytes of porn.
Of kids shows.
Of
Didn't
kid
even know that was
shows.
possible.
What? But yeah, I would imagine that Hart and Isaac are going to be spending their evenings together, correct?
Yes, I already said that. I started with that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
they're going to be kicking Quicksilver out.
Oh, on those nights, sure, you would find Quicksilver in the Starluck Lounge.
Watching stuff?
Yep.
All right, that's cool.
I thought you were referring to Rael.
Oh, God,
Rael?
Rael.
No.
Rael eats fish.
Rael eats fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be stir crazy, but he actually doesn't complain at all. You know, if someone goes by and talks to him, he'll be more than happy to talk to you. But he spends a lot of time sleeping. You get a sense that he is entering like hibernated type states where he'll sleep for a few days and then wake up and move around and stretch. And but he's not the kind of person that needs stimulation every day, all day to keep him entertained.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then who wants to roll on the thing? I haven't
You
rolled
forgot
on yet.
about his pony, Squee.
No, Applepalooza doesn't have an AI.
More of what Rael was doing, but yeah.
Oh, right. Playing with the pony.
Kid rolled a 12.
That is true. All right, let's see here.
We all die.
Oh, okay. Okay. So 6 weeks into the journey, you're getting towards the edge of the galaxy. Again, you are passing through clusters of civilization, but they're not civilization you recognize. And Anna, through the advice of Indigo especially, you typically tend to steer clear of most places, simply because, you know, not everyone's going to be a pirate out there to kill you, but you don't know the civilizations, so you don't know who is and who isn't, right?
Screw that.
Yeah. So you guys do typically tend to try and take lesser, you know, travel paths. And you are traveling through one of these areas that is very empty space. It's not any solar system of any kind. It's in between them, so there's no real large bodies to attract. Because in space, you typically need planets and suns for there to be civilization. You do have outlying space stations and things of that nature, but they're few and far between. So you're traveling at light speed, or faster than light speed, and your sensors start picking up right directly in front of you, coming quickly, enormous an enormous cloud of debris to the point where it would be best to drop out of faster than light speed to traverse it because you don't want to hit it.
I've seen this episode of Firefly. Yes.
Good. I've also seen, I don't remember that episode, but I've seen all the
I
episodes.
just remember that scene. I think there was Reavers. I think it was one of those.
Oh,
episodes.
yeah. Okay. Yes. So,
That might have actually been Serenity now that I think about it.
yeah, you think
Yeah,
it's
that was
Serenity.
the movie.
But, excuse me. So, I assume, yes, you drop out of light speed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You drop out of light speed, and you see, oh, hang on.
Do you see Reavers?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm text from work. Nothing important. But it might have been. So, sorry. So you drop out of space, and what you see is on your sensors and on your visuals are hundreds upon hundreds of wrecked spaceships. It's very, very clear that you've come across a ship graveyard. A massive battle had to have taken place here because you see your sensors pick up over 786 ships, and we're talking large cruiser and carrier type battleships. And several thousand smaller cruisers and fighters. They're all of unknown make and origin. Your computer's kind of guessing as to, given their size and shape, what kind of ships they are. But these classes. There are two distinct types. In other words, you can kind of tell that, okay, there were two sides to this fight. The ships, again, look foreign to you. Some of them are very sleek, aerodynamic, I guess you would say, even though it's space, you wouldn't really need aerodynamics, but very curvy, very sleek, very almost pretty to look at. And they shine when the light from the ship or from a distant star or not hits them. They shine like a rainbow spectrum of color, almost as if they were a metallic paint. They had like a rainbow sheen to them. And you do notice as you travel through some of them that they have a blue, like it is a blue diamond made up of 4 triangles all facing towards each other. So like 4 triangles that make, here, I'll draw it for you guys so that you understand what I'm talking about. So up towards the top of the ship, I'll draw it real quick. So you have like that. This is really bad. I am really bad at such things.
Where are you drawing it?
Where are you
Yeah.
drawing?
Top of the ship.
Wrong layer.
Yeah, top of the ship. No, right
No.
layer.
I didn't get it.
Are you talking about like right here? Area?
Right here, right here. You guys can't see it at all? I'm
No.
on the token.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Weird. All right, well, good. It was a horrible drawing anyway.
I just see blackness.
All right, well, fine. It's a horrible drawing anyway. It doesn't really reflect. I'm bad at drawing, so I'm glad that you can't see it.
It's not easy to draw on Roll20.
It's
No.
not. So basically, it's a blue diamond with what looks almost like angel wings coming out of it. It looks like maybe a logo or insignia or a symbol of some nature. You see that on those curvy ships. The other type of ships that you see are very stark. They're all a natural gray color of whatever metal alloy they were used. They're very blocky. And there's no insignia of any kind. There's no identifying markers. And given by the fact that there are far fewer of them than the other ships, it's likely they won the battle.
Okay.
As you begin to fly through it, because the debris is so vast that it would take a really long time at sublight speeds to fly around it. So they're not so close together that you have to worry too much about crashing into a ship. So it's safe to just go through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you go through it, you begin to see that not all of these ships were combat ships. Some of them have really big guns and things of the nature. Others have large tanks or different designs that would denote possibly food ships or carrier ships or civilian ships even. And once you start flying through the ships, they're too small for your senses to pick up, but you can definitely see them. You fly through and bump into several bodies. And when I say several, I mean hundreds. Like, there are literally hundreds upon hundreds of dead bodies just floating in the void.
That's the direction I thought this was going.
Mm-hmm. The bodies are humanoid in shape, though they are excuse me. They are humanoid in shape, though they have a very, very bright pink colored skin, almost a magenta color. It's hard to tell too much about their size and shape from inside the ship, but they did have no hair. It looks like they were completely hairless bodies, and their ears were very, very small, almost like circles. And other than that, they had 2 arms, 2 legs, fingers, toes, pretty much everything you can see from one body to the other. This is, in every sense of the word, very much a ship graveyard. And from the number of bodies you can see, it's quite clear that there are hundreds of thousands of dead here.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how she would react to that. We'll probably try to go as slow as she can and not disturb as many of the bodies as possible. I mean, that's probably going to be impossible, but...
Would you have let anyone else know? Like, would anyone else be in the cockpit to see this?
Oh, no one else will be in the cockpit?
I don't think
Kid would
Isaac
probably be in there watching one of the shows.
Sure. All right, then, Kid, you would see all of this as well.
There's like no way I can think about how she can do a message that is not, at least in the tones I usually have her speaking, that's not disrespectful, honestly. So I don't think she would like announce it.
Sure.
Well,
sure.
On the positive side, we're not actually driving a cruiser, so it's going to be a lot easier to navigate through this. Yeah.
That too.
Silver lining.
Hey.
Yay!
There's no ravers yet.
Don't jinx us.
I know. Well,
All right.
Is there any sign of like when this battle took place? I mean, I know decay probably doesn't happen nearly as fast in space,
True.
but
So let me think. Actually, let me think for a second as a GM if there would be a way to tell.
I can roll in intelligence.
Sure. You know what? Anna, roll me a sensors, read sensory equipment. I believe you have that, yes?
I should. Yes, there it is.
And then, Kid, roll me an intelligence. So times 4.
Oh,
me.
yes.
Do.
Out of 85.
Did it.
Okay. Yes, the sensors on the ship are capable of determining the composition of the materials. And being able to look at the decay of the materials, i.e. almost like carbon dating, being able to tell you know what these materials are and how fast they decay, and you can use that to give you a specific time frame. Now, this isn't exact. Exactly. This isn't exact. What this will tell you is basically when these ships were made, not so much as when they were destroyed, but they're well over at least about 1,200 to 1,500 years old.
Not bad at all.
Oh. Well done. I guess we're a little late to the party.
Yeah, it's very likely this battlefield is very old.
I'd rather it be like thousands of years old as opposed to it was last week.
It's true.
But with enough time, you're able to fly past it and then continue on. And once you are free and clear of it, you can engage your light engines again.
Mm-hmm.
And zoom off to the galaxy to roll something else.
I want to roll. Woo!
Do it.
I cannot believe you guys didn't try to stop and look into those ships. Cannot believe.
I don't know if you're being serious or not.
I sort of.
I wouldn't really want to, just in case we don't know what scavengers are still on there. Like, it could be years old, but
apparently
scavengers.
1,200-year-old scavengers.
There's always scavengers.
1,200-year-old
Look,
scavengers
can we
on
talk
the
about
edge of
archaeologists?
space, of course.
They're like with like beards to the ground and canes and like stick 'em up. All right, 31. A.
B.
No, A.
B.
C.
D.
What if it's Z?
That's
The
not a
plan
real
said.
letter. That's not
Yes,
a real
it is. By me.
All right,
One day he will fight you. It's
yeah.
true.
I will live.
So, okay. This is gonna sound weird, but I need someone else to roll me a D100 again.
Okay. Thanks, Queen.
You're welcome. Thank you, kid. No. Burn, you roll the event. I just need to see something. It'll make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't need your roll, Burn.
Yeah. We don't take rolls from cowboys.
We already had someone
Okay.
walking in on Isaac and Hart. Okay, so moving on.
Yep.
Oh,
That was the
boy.
thing.
All right. Would you roll an 18? Oops. Look at the wrong thing. Okay. Wow. Lucky. Okay. You are flying the ship, yes? And that's a rhetorical question. Of course, you're flying the ship. I mean, you guys collectively.
Yes, kid is flying the ship.
So
Oh,
another week goes by, and things are pretty quiet. You guys are traveling at 5 times the speed of light. And then we'll say this is probably around 2 or 3 in the morning in your cycle. So most everyone's probably asleep.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, whoever is anyone in the cockpit at this time? You don't need to be, obviously. Everything's on autopilot, but there can be someone in there. Or at the very least, like you can route all the alarms and stuff to your room, that kind of thing.
Oh, Anna would definitely have alarms alerted to her room.
Okay. So we'll say that the alarms start going crazy in your room. And you look up and it looks like the ship has been torn out of faster than light speed.
Okay, running to the cockpit.
All right. So you run to the cockpit and you note to yourself that if you weren't in this, whatever this is, this facility, this other inside of the ship, such a fast deacceleration could cause damage to the ship, and most likely would have thrown everyone out of their beds, probably even hurt someone. So, but of course here you didn't feel a thing. Mm-hmm. So you get to the ship, you look at the sensors, and you notice that thankfully, while there is some stress to the hull, there is no damage to systems, but your ship very much was completely ripped out of light speed. And you find that you are in the middle of what is called a gravity pocket. Now, gravity pockets are strange phenomenons in the three galaxies that are generally caused by a super dense, super powerful, but super small black hole. And what it is they create a pocket of space where gravity is so intense that it will pull you out of faster than light travel. Sometimes, like this time, very violently, because they're impossible to pick up on your sensors because there's no object to pick up, right? Or at least it's so small you can't pick it up on your sensors. But its effect, its gravity is so powerful that if you clip it somehow, it can be powerful enough to completely throw you out of faster than light speed. And that's what happened. You're in an area that looks completely dark. You can't see anything. Not that you would be able to see a tiny black hole, but it's very clear that you are in a gravity pocket. Good news is you are not caught there. You can still fly out of it. You are on the outer edge of it. Basically, the gravity fluctuations were enough to rip you out of it, but it's not, you haven't like crossed the event horizon. It's just going to be, it's going to add about 2 or 3 days to your travel time because you won't be able to use faster than light travel until you get beyond it. And it could have severely damaged the ship, though someone happened to roll an 18, so it didn't.
Yay!
Good job, kid.
Yup. Good
So that's
job,
cool.
kid.
Yeah.
So, adds 3 days to your journey time because this wasn't long enough as it is.
We won't even notice.
And the saddest part is, it's not even anything interesting to look at. There's no planets nearby or stars or nebulae. This is literally just the ass into space.
Hey, we got a window into the ocean.
It's true.
Yes, that is true. With your window into the ocean. All right. With that, would someone else like to roll again?
Lucas?
Oh boy, it's my turn.
You guys are rolling all the narrative ones. Well, I suppose that last one could have been very active if you had rolled badly enough on the damage table.
I'm okay with not rolling badly on that one.
All right. Where's my table? What'd you roll?
21.
Okay. All right. Anna. A few days later. Oh man. Could someone please roll me another D100?
Oh fuck.
I'll do it.
Boom.
Boom.
I know. Blame Lucas. He rolled this. Okay. Good. Again, you are not as violently, nowhere near as violently, but you are torn out of faster than light travel. And this is while you're in the cockpit. So you see it happen. You're torn out of faster than light travel by a gravity pocket technically. However, it's very, very easy to see what it is this time because you fly out and your visors are immediately met by a fantastic and terrifying sight. You have flown a little too close for comfort to a black hole that is in the process of eating a star. And what that means is that there is a supermassive black hole and a sun that is orbiting around it so quickly that to you it looks like a ring of fire. The sun is orbiting this black hole that is probably, by your sensor rates, at least 34,000 kilometers in size. This sun is orbiting it several hundred times a second.
GTFO, GTFO.
And it is so close that its gases are being sucked into the event horizon. So what you are seeing is a really cool looking sight, if a bit terrifying. You see a very black center, which looks like, and there's the sun orbiting around it, almost vertical to you, at such a high speed that it looks like a ring of fire that is constantly emitting gas into the center. So it actually kind of looks like an eye of fire with constantly moving flames with a black pupil in the center.
Are we completely safe?
You are safe. It is another one of those things where it's going to take a day or two to get far enough away from it to engage your engines again. And at least this time, man, you've got quite the sight.
This time, Adam would probably actually go onto the intercoms and say, "And on your left, you will see a spectacular sight of a figurative fire eye. Enjoy. Don't worry, we are completely safe, apparently."
All right,
Thump,
so
thump, 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 thump. Where is it?
Points at screen.
Lucas smudged his face against it.
Is he just leaning over Anna as she's sitting in the chair to do that?
Yeah.
Oh
Joy.
man.
There's
So-
another screen, Lucas.
Where?
Right there. Points at Eller's screen.
Smudge his face against the screen.
So I just want to point out, so on my list, I had those two events really close together, like almost right next to each other, because I was like, hey, these are fun. One's going to be boring. One's going to be interesting. And you just rolled both of them.
Yeah.
Back to
One
back.
after the other.
It's
All
true.
right.
Good job, guys.
Would someone else like to roll?
I
Let's
feel like
have-
you got gypped on mine.
I know.
You want to roll
Isaac.
again? You want to roll again?
Yeah.
Isaac, you also got gypped. You go. You got the
Okay.
boring of the two.
Let's see what I 39.
At least Lucas had the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
39. What do we have here? Oh, okay.
It's
You get
another
sucked out
comedy
of-
thing.
You are traveling through space. We'll say is again another 3 or 4 days later. And you are actually traveling through a populated system. You can't avoid them all. I mean, you could, but it would add weeks to your travel time to avoid all of the populated systems. So some of them you just fly through. And you are flying through a populated system when you actually receive a distress call. On the cockpit, you hear basically a message comes in. When you click on the message, it says, "Attention, unidentified ship. We need assistance. This is isolated planet." Crap. Hang on. Where are my names?
Well, they don't even know who they are. It keeps going.
No, I wrote
It's a
names in
scam.
this. I can't.
Lucas
Clearly
holds up
these
a
are
gun
pirates.
to the-
Loading. Finding name. Loading.
There it is. Okay. So you hear a message. I'm sorry. Let me try this again. You hear a message. Unidentified ship. We need urgent assistance. This is Planet Fortune. We are in desperate need of assistance. Please respond.
And I will call people up to the cockpit and ask what they want to do.
Thump, 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 thump. Is it another eye? The
No,
cool blue one?
no, more like the people we sent the Stranger Danger video to. But they're in trouble.
Did they
This
talk
shit
to a
again.
stranger?
They didn't clarify.
Bottle's over. Alright, what was the message?
Replay's message.
Lucas sits there. Yeah, I guess we could help, or what do they need?
Should we
Look.
send them a message first? Or would that take
Lucas
too long?
thinks about it for a second.
Not Stranger Danger this time.
Yeah, no, maybe not the same joke twice.
What kind of comedian would
That's
he
your
be?
concern.
Yes.
Look, they might not have. They might not know about Stranger Danger.
They sound like they need help. I guess we could take out some time to do that. Oh,
But same issues last time. Could be a trap.
what do you mean last time?
Well, with the people trying to do the, they're sending out a message to draw people in and then trap them.
Oh, for the new... Oh, that thing. No, this
Yeah.
one seems more like a trap. We should check this one out.
Kid?
Sorry.
Kid, you in or out?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. What's tall guy think?
Isaac, you in or out?
Out of character, honestly, like we've missed like 2 at least actual investigative things. I'm kind of down to at least talk to these guys and see what they need.
Okay.
Out of character, I really would love that freaking like place with all the dead the ship graveyard thing to be marked, so we might be going back to it. I feel like there's some cool things there that we just kind of left.
It's true.
Sure, it'd be marked in your navigation map, absolutely.
Okay.
So you can go back there at a later time. You can turn around now. I mean, there's no time limit, really. I mean, there is.
There
Cyber
is.
6 will
Well,
expire
we
eventually.
should
but-
do cyber.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. But, you know,
Yeah.
you have time. So.
We could also justify going back like Anna would tell them later over dinner or something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Anyways, this current situation though.
Right.
Yes.
So sending them a message, can we do that? Or is it going to be like 100 years later situation again?
No. So, sending basic radio signals back and forth, the technology is advanced enough that it can handle faster than light travel. It was sending large quantities of media that had to travel at light speed, especially since you're pretty sure that planet didn't have faster than light technology. So no, this you can respond. You would have to drop out of faster than light speed to really have a good conversation with them. However, you can choose when and where. So, like for example, you would know this. It'd be really hard for them to ambush you that way because they have no idea where you would drop out.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally traveling faster than the speed of light every second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with dropping the
Okay.
speed and then sending a message.
So you drop out, and you are you're pretty distant from a star. Basically, you would be out beyond where Pluto would be. So, you know, in terms of faster than light travel, a few minutes away from. Probably about 30 minutes away from the star, or no, actually, I'm thinking horribly wrong here. Probably a few hours away from the star at faster than light travel, because like, gosh, for messages to go from Earth to Mars is like 30 minutes. So, a few hours away from the star, you can see the star. It's pretty small, and you know by your sensors that there are planets orbiting around it, and one of them is where this signal originated from.
Okay. And
So
will go.
No, I was just saying, how do you respond?
Anna will just basically say, "What is your situation?"
Oh, thank you for responding. Yes, sorry. My name is Leader Mont, and we are Planet Fortune. We are currently quarantined. We're suffering from a horrible plague. It is massacring our people, and our local provisional government is sending what aid they can in the forms of vaccines that we are using to attempt to fight it. And we receive a shipment every few weeks that has been keeping us alive. But the last shipment did not arrive. It's more than 4 days late. We've had no word from them. We can't contact them. And without their supplies, thousands will die. We need help finding them, finding what happened to them, and most importantly, securing their cargo. We don't have ships of our own. And even if we did, we're quarantined. We can't leave without risking infecting others.
What's the chances this transport ship got the plague?
would be nearly impossible. The ship itself never came to the planet, only dropped its cargo from orbit.
There's nothing being sent back to the ship at all?
No, of course not.
And then we'll look over at everyone else.
Can he give us
Are we
coordinates
gonna-
where this ship originated from?
She will ask him.
I can give you the coordinates of where we last had contact with them. Yes, it's a fairly large shipping outpost, and he would give you coordinates. It's faster than light speed travel. It's about 3 hours away, and from what the information he gives you, it's almost like an interstellar truck stop. It's a place where cargo ships on long hauls stop to get some food and get a shower and that kind of thing.
So, also a good place for diseases to be spread. What do you guys think? I feel guilty just leaving now.
Yeah, I kind of feel guilty too.
I know Isaac's saying can like heal wounds. Can it heal, not to like heal the people there, but in case one of us gets this disease, could he heal us or?
I have psychic purification. Let me read up on what that is again.
Because if there is that extra backbone, that would be a bit nicer to know going in.
Yeah.
I don't think psychic purification does it, but cure illness sure does, and Elisa's got that.
Okay.
This just destroys chemicals, drugs, poisons, and toxins.
Yeah, so not quite
disease.
Biological plagues, yeah.
Not disease.
But cure illness does. And Elisa would let you know that she is very capable of casting that.
Okay. So, from the sounds of it, unless the ship for some reason has the plague, we don't have to worry about that as much because we can also if we get the ship in, we can just drop it on their planet. We don't have to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could Batman shuttle it down. Just get a good capsule, shoot that at the planet.
I was thinking Hunger Games, but okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
All right. So they would tell you that the interstellar, I'm just going to call it the interstellar truck stop because that's really what it is. It's about 3 or 4 hours away for you. However, they do say that this race, while they are spacefaring, of course, their technology is not that fast. It would actually, from that truck stop to that planet, is a 4-day journey for them.
Mm-hmm.
So the last time they had contact was over 8 days ago.
I thought they said no, never mind. I'm getting the numbers mixed up.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because they expected him 4 days ago, and he's 4 days late.
Mm-hmm.
I just said the same thing twice, really.
Yeah. You did.
Yes, you did.
All
okay.
right, you head that direction. It takes you about 3 hours or so, and when you drop out of Lightspeed, you find a very interesting station. It looks like almost like a wheel with spokes and a shaft through the center. It almost looks as if someone took a bicycle wheel and had a long pole through the center of it, and it was slowly spinning on that axis. That's the shape of the space station. And on the wheel shape of it, you have dozens upon dozens of large tankers and cargo ships of many different types and sizes that are docked with it. It's also a fairly crowded area, as there are other ships that are coming to and from it. And as you come out of Lightspeed, you get a hail from the station. Unidentified ship, welcome to... hang on. Sorry, let me go back to my list here.
They don't know who either.
No, they do. I just have to see the list where I made the name. All right.
What is
welcome
with this
to
section?
They're not as advanced as you, okay?
You
They
should at
can't
least
go
know
as
their name.
fast. They don't have as good name. Cataloging. They said,
Memory.
welcome to the Trig Outpost. We don't have you on our records here, but there's always a spot here and some good food if you want it.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, well, go ahead and dock at port 96. You are all clear.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
He goes,
Yep.
yeah, go out for foods, maybe get something nice. Why are we here again?
Help people with the plague, but we've also been.
Oh,
well,
shit,
police have
right.
it, I guess.
Before or after the sandwich?
Same time.
That's
It looks
challenge.
like you just blew his mind.
You see Indigo, who's up there with you. Indigo, who's staring at Kid, who's eating crackers, because Kid could just probably eat those forever. And Indigo, like, staring at Kid as she says it, she goes, you know, a sandwich never hurt anyone. We have been eating the same thing for, like, 7 weeks now. Don't get me wrong, your little guy's food is delicious, but might be nice to get a little something off the ship.
Yeah. We can multitask.
Lucky ACU's not here.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
He would have
Them
been, this is
fighting
Lucas in
words.
character. He'd be very upset. He's been trying really hard to get a variety of dishes.
Indigo's like, I mean, I didn't mean any offense. It's just I like trying new things, right? I mean, we don't know these people. Maybe they have interesting foods. That's all I meant. Rolling bluff check. No.
They just have lard and nothing else.
Ugh. Ugh.
Spam in a can.
Anyways.
Right. So you're able to dock. The ship itself doesn't go into the space station. It actually has external docking. So you actually connect the back of the ship to the space station itself. So you kind of have to back it up, and then you connect this. It's very interesting because you don't know this space station. They probably don't know your technology, but from what you can see, there's all kinds of different ships here. So the clamps and the docking part is kind of universal in the sense that what comes out is a large chute that vacuum seals to the bottom of your ship where you ask it to, so that your cargo bay can open up into this vacuum sealed chute.
Cool.
So basically, as long as the ship has a door, they can probably dock with it.
Shoot.
We don't have a door?
I do.
We do have a door, yeah.
I thought you said shit.
No, I said
No, he said
shoot.
shoot. Because I said shoot
Oh.
twice.
Yes.
I
Because he
missed-
likes saying shoot.
I took that as the censored version of shit.
No.
Anyways.
So yeah, you're docked.
Hey.
Hey!
Sweet,
Opa!
so-
Confetti!
First things first, let's go and get some food. Actually figure out what kind of cash system they have over here. Because there is a chance that they might not take credits, universal credits or clicks. And figure out where these supplies are for this planet.
So currency, food, information.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys would travel down the chute and get into the station proper. And as you enter the station proper, you see that it's a very long corridor that stretches, you would assume, the entire length of the wheel. And it's carpeted. It has red carpet with blue stripes running down it. It gives you a very airport feel, or almost like a a 1970s carpet, not the shag carpet, but the style of carpet you would see everywhere. And it just feels kind of warm. The lighting is a soft yellow, which is unusual. Usually in Zebron and other places, it's generally a fluorescent white light. This is much more like a lamp type thing. It goes down the entire hallway on either side, and it just has a very warm feeling to it. You see people walking to and from, and you see a few hundred feet off to your left, you see like a visitor booth for information.
Well, we need information.
It's true. Let's go and visit.
I'm gonna walk over.
When you get there, you see a well, Lucas, you have galactic knowledge. Roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
Anyone else who has it can also.
No.
Oh, good.
Okay. You've never seen this race before.
Oh.
I can do an everyman roll.
Sure, by all means.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, imagine, if you will, a being that has the head of an ant, complete with antenna and the bug-like eyes. I forget what they call them. Compound eyes. However, in the place of mandibles are rather human-looking lips and teeth. The head itself connects to a thorax. It's obvious that there's an exoskeleton here. However, the entire thorax is covered with a short, silky silver hair, so that it actually like shines in the light. And as you come up, it tries a few languages that one of them, Lucas, you know, it's a language you almost never use. And it would hit that one about second. It would try one that you've never heard of, and then it would hit that one, and it would say, "Do you speak this language?"
Oh yes, my good man, I do.
The rest
But
of you
these
hear,
commoners don't.
the rest of you guys just hear Lucas and this person communicating in clicks and whistles.
Not even surprised.
And the creature would say, "Is there another language perhaps they do speak? I am fluent in many."
Most of us use this barbaric one, and then he switches it to trade 4. And we usually just use this one.
Oh, excellent. You must be from the Commonwealth, then. We don't get many of your kind out this far. How can I help you?
What currency do you use?
Oh, that too.
Well, we are capable of using most kinds of currency. Clicks are used out here, though they don't have quite the same value I'm sure they would in the core worlds. We don't have as much use for them, but all of our businesses on this station will accept them, and we'll trade them in with us, and we'll send them back towards the few dealings that we have with the Commonwealth.
Fantastic. So, we're basically here for 2 reasons. One, there's a planet that we passed on our way out here that is currently quarantined and waiting a shipment of I can't remember the name. Anyone help me out here?
Well, you know the planet's name is Fortune. They didn't actually say the name of the plague, just that. Yeah, they need it. Well, vaccines and medicine.
That's the word, vaccine. They're waiting a shipment of vaccine that hasn't arrived in over 8 days. We figured we'd come here, check it out, see if we can just deliver it for them.
I see.
And while we're here, we might as well sample some of the food.
Oh, of course. Well, we obviously have a database where most people who come and go log their destinations, of course. However, under normal circumstances, such information is privileged. Obviously, we don't want to just give that information out to anyone. I can see how this would be a terrible need, though. If you do need such information, I would request you speak to our administrator and see if you can get special exception.
Would it help if we brought proof of the distress call?
Yes, I believe it would help greatly. Though, to be fair, again, I wouldn't have the authority. You would still have to speak with our supervisor.
Of course.
Sure, let's go talk to this supervisor.
Okay. And to answer your second question, if you follow any of the spokes down towards the center of the station, you'll find no less than 5 different restaurants that serve a variety of meals. And also
Fantastic.
accommodations if you just feel the urge to get off your ship for a while.
We'll think about that one later, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Anna will probably jog back to the ship to get, thumb drive with a distress call on it.
Got it. It's safe to say that and the actual conversation would be recorded.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I didn't think we would get the recording. That works as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ship is basically set to record any transmissions of any kind, then you can just choose to keep it or not.
More,
Makes
I
sense.
just didn't think that would help us in this situation. But yeah, no, that would help.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
Yeah, like a block box, a black box of sorts.
Block box, like the blockbuster.
It's a block box
Buster.
because it blocks boxes.
Woo!
It's just someone with an upheld hand blocking boxes. All right. So, as directed, you would be directed to the administrator's offices, which is in the center of the station towards the very top. So you'd walk down any number of the spokes, and it's, again, a very warm, friendly type of atmosphere. There's plants every so often. There's windows that gaze out upon the sights. It's not, spectacular views, nothing like what you've seen before in your travels, but there's a nebula off in the distance, and there is the star and an asteroid belt around the star. So there's some things to look at. Traffic is sparse down this particular spoke, though. Given the size of the station, you see people, every few minutes. There's just not. It's not at all. I'm sorry. You see people at all times, but it's not what you would call crowded by any means. A person here, a person there, 2 or 3 people that happen to be headed the same direction you are. Then you would get to the center of the station, and then you would start making your way upwards. And it's very interesting. Most Commonwealth architecture and design doesn't have to deal with this, but the station's artificial gravity actually acts so that when you get to the spoke, or the end of the spoke, and get to the center, I guess you would say, rod of the station, you actually have to hold on to some handlebars, as you have to kind of jump down to the other corridor and start walking up the spoke to the top. Though for you, it feels like you're still walking in a straight line. So once you touch down, your orientation is almost immediately realigned.
Neat.
And you follow the spoke towards the top. And when you get there, there is another silvery ant-like person who, again, kind of starts speaking through the different languages, and would get to the clicks and whistles second as well, as if this is common procedure, and say, "Hello, sir. Is this a language you speak?"
Is this the click and whistles one?
Yeah.
Yes, but if you know, do you know these as? Do you know this language as Trade 5?
Oh, my apologies, sir. I'm new here. I am aware of the language, but I have not mastered it yet.
Well, do you know of? And then he'll switch to for this one.
Yes, yes, and the creature will say in that tone, "I am fairly, how do you say, uh, adequate at that language."
Well, if you need something a bit more complicated that you don't know, I can at least translate for, and then he'll switch back to 5. This one, but my friends only know 4. He switched back this one.
So, in other words, okay, I'm getting confused now. The one they don't know is the one most people know. Correct. Trade 5 is what most people speak.
Trade 4, I believe, is the one that most
Okay.
people speak.
So then the rest of you will understand them. They when they say, I know this one adequately, their tone is broken. They're obviously not extremely fluent in it, but you can understand them.
All right.
And he'll say, "Hello to you all. How can one help this you now?"
Looking for food, right? Or
No, you're at the administrator's office.
oh, we're looking for the chief administrator head guy. We ran into a planet on our way over here, and they are quarantined and looking for help. Their help has not arrived in over 8 days. We want to help.
Please to slow down. Apologies. Not good with your tongue. You speak with head person?
Yes.
Big boss.
Do appointment have you?
No.
Oh.
It
Oh.
may be an emergency.
Oh. I visualize. Emergency. What is?
People dying.
Oh. Oh. Where?
On a planet not too far away.
You would have the coordinates, wouldn't you? You'd be able to.
Just write them down, be like, here.
Yeah.
My apologies. Moment, please. And then Lucas in Clicks and Whistles. I am so sorry, but if there's an emergency, please let me know what it is, and I will pass it along as quickly as I can.
Oh yeah, we're looking for a shipment of medicine and vaccines. It looks like their shipment has been lost, and last known place has been this.
Oh, I see. So the last contact they had was here. Well, we would possibly have those records, though. You came to the right place. The administrator would have to grant you access to them. Please give me one moment. I will contact him and see if he will see you.
He will nod and give a quick. I would probably want to say something like a Canadian A to them. But in specifically like their language equivalent.
Right.
Dude, Lucas is freaking like, as the book calls it, it's flawless, is 98%, so he is very good at this trade language.
So like you get the mannerisms down. You sound like a native.
Yeah.
The being will contact something on the console, and in the Clicks and Whistles say, "Hello, sir," and he'll basically explain the situation, that you're here to see them, and then you'll get a response in a very kind of gruff voice, "Cinnamon." And then the creature will look up. "Pleased to tell you, Headman will speak now with you inside, please." and motion with its thorax, with its exoskeleton arms past it.
Thank you.
Kid's gonna walk in that direction as fast as they can.
Same.
Follow the little one.
Okay. You are walk past her into a fairly lavish office. It has a large desk with several computers on it and several very comfy couches and chairs around. Again, the same warm yellow lamp lighting. It gives it the appearance with the with the the window showing the black space outside it. It gives the appearance that this is a dimly lit room in the evening time. It just gives that kind of cozy feeling. And as at the desk sits another one of these silvery ant-like creatures. However, this one has its antenna, oddly enough, looks like it's they're twisted together and tied back down behind its head, almost like a ponytail. And it's wearing very fancy and almost official looking type of uniform that's mostly white and silver. Which is odd because most of these creatures aren't wearing anything at all, except, their exoskeleton. And as you come in flawless trade 4, he says, I'm led to believe that there is some sort of emergency. Please have a seat and we can discuss it.
Fantastic. I'm gonna go sit down and all of that. Anna, do you have the recording?
Yeah, she'll hand him the recording.
Okay. He will nod politely, and I don't know how you nod not politely, but aggressive nodding. He will take it, he will play it, he'll listen to it, and then he'll say, that is very, very sad news to hear. By your language, you're from the Commonwealth, are you not? We don't usually see your kind out this far.
We have reasons.
Yeah.
May I ask what those reasons are?
No.
Understand. I need to be able to evaluate your trustworthiness before I give such sensitive information to you.
Our
I
friend
want
is
to-
not our
dying.
trust.
As you all three speak at once.
We are simply just passing through. We received a distress call. If it's really nothing to be concerned with, then we're gonna just go.
No, of course it's something to be concerned with. It's just, I'm sure you're well aware that this is the type of thing that many scam artists would use to get sensitive information. I am in no way, shape, or form attempting to insult you, but it is my duty and obligation to protect this information as best as possible. Once I've determined your trustworthiness, I will be more than happy to release this information to you, as I desperately feel for their predicament.
It's not really our secret to tell. Our friend is comatose, and we need to take him back to his home planet, which he was very secretive about.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Well, I do not wish to pry too far into personal matters.
You can always pass the information on to someone else who can do it. If you decide you don't
can't.
trust us. You can?
I can, absolutely. Though, given by the time stamp on this message and the fact that you're here, means that you must be traveling at far faster speeds than most people here are capable of. Which means that if someone was going to find this person... Okay. And one of you, whoever would like to, who has a good roll for this kind of thing, roll me a trust. I cannot talk.
Trust?
Roll me a trust check, please.
I have
That would
60.
be not me.
I think I do. I don't know about Isaac.
I got a 50.
I have a 65. Man, we have a lot of people who just have a high MA, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys
We're
are
a
just
lot
a
of
charismatic
trusting
bunch.
people.
Oh, I just
You-
realized that wasn't actually a roll.
And the funny thing is, you guys aren't even Xavier.
Well, it's also try/intimidate, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So whoever would like to roll it, please, because you
I'll just
all
roll.
are kind of sure.
I did it.
Okay.
By 19.
He will be silent for a moment. He'll say, "It's too dangerous for me not to trust you. I'll just have to put my job on the line." And he'll pull up something on the computer and he'll say, "It is true. It does look like Fortune is under quarantine and that they are receiving regular shipments. There was a shipment here 8 days ago. A gentleman by the name of Felix Astrid. Rather old gentleman. By his picture, unassuming enough. He docked here for a little while, enough to get some food, logged his destination as Planet Fortune, estimated time of arrival in 4 days, and left that direction." He's looking. "I don't have any more information than that. However, I might be able to... Well, truckers, we call them truckers because they it's an old phrase carried over from before our space days, but in vast and low populated areas like this, they can sometimes leave they carry a special chemical on board their vehicles to leave a trail in case they go missing or attacked. It is a bit of a risk, as someone could easily follow you, but that's kind of the point, that if you were stranded out here without communication, we would have no way of contacting you without it. I do happen to have his chemical makeup. You might be able to follow it."
Well,
Maybe?
yeah, I think our sensors should be able to pick up chemicals. I'm not entirely sure.
Would Anna know this?
Yeah, you know that. I mean, you might need to do some calibrations, but sure.
Okay. Yeah, that should work.
Okay, excellent. I will transfer the data to your flash drive, and good luck to you. The plague that they're suffering from is quite nasty.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And then he'll hand the data stick back to you, and he'll say, "I hope I'm doing the right thing."
Well, we're trying to do the right thing. It happens every once in a while.
He nods. "Good luck."
Thank you.
And then he'll motion towards the door.
Bye.
Bye. Tilts his head to the side. Bye.
All right.
No. All right. So you guys leave the administrator's office.
Let's grab some food and then start calibrating our sensors and head out.
Got it.
Yes.
Real quickly, you can grab some food. There's 5 different planets, 5 different restaurants. It's pretty greasy, but it's like the good kind of greasy. It's like that really good cheeseburger you haven't had in a few weeks, and you know it's not really healthy, but damn it, it's good.
Few weeks.
I was just gonna get some takeout for Hart then.
All right.
Oh yeah, we probably get food for everyone still in the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that include ACU?
Yeah.
I already told ACU to cancel.
Oh no, we're gonna have spit on our next food.
Can he produce saliva?
Oh no, we're gonna have
It's
Bill's
more of
burrito.
like icing, but you know, it's a thought that counts.
But it's a super
Ooh.
savory steak.
All right. The good news
gross.
so the good news is that despite clicks being a little less valuable here, this is one of those places where food's cheap, and we're talking. This is good size portions, big burgers, half-pound meat, big thing of fries, that kind of thing. If for the whole ship, you'd be looking at about 60 clicks.
Oh.
Yeah. Cheap food. All right, so you guys can get back to the ship. You can it wouldn't take, like I said, you just you just give the chemical makeup to Hart, give her about 15 minutes. She'll be able to lock onto the trail. And Anna, you'll have to be careful reading the sensory equipment, i.e. you might have to roll for it, but the ship should be able to follow it.
Okay. You want me to roll now?
Yes, please. And a penalty of 10, so make it harder by 10.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
I'm 85.
All right. So as everyone sits down to a hearty meal, which I am curious, how does ACU take it? Like, does ACU, like, he's like standing over there on the side just watching, or?
Both ACU and Lucas is not in the mess hall.
Oh. It takes
I can tell you, the GM, what
Sure.
we're doing.
Sure, by all means.
We're actually just in the kitchen sharing a burger.
So it's a pride issue.
Yeah. As well as, like, general things like, yeah, they just want this. And ACU's just like, he's, like, sort of shaking his head, but still, like, trying to figure out, like, how this is done and made and, like, how he could replicate it. And he's basically got down, like, oh, yeah, I just need, like, fattier, like, basically lower quality meats to get a very similar effect. Which he doesn't have, sadly.
No, he spent so much money on the good stuff.
Clearly, my standards are too high.
Also,
Yeah.
ACU would be able to tell this because this is kind of his thing. But the hamburgers also were cooked over some sort of like wood, so they have that smoked flavor that would be difficult to replicate here without wood.
Getting specifically wood for
exactly,
because I think we have the ability, like we have the super kitchen. Pretty sure we have a section for that. I don't think we have the wood for it.
Right, but he'd be able to tell, like, yeah, there's this smoky flavor to this.
You can do that. There is something you can buy that adds the smoky flavor, though.
Yeah.
It's like a liquid campfire.
What?
Yeah, this is a thing you can buy.
It's true.
Right. Okay, hang on. Everyone, put the role playing aside. Are you messing with me?
No. There's this stuff. It's like liquid smoke or something, and you put it in like pulled pork.
Yeah.
But how did I not know about this?
Because it's on
Did
the
your
highest
mind
shelf.
just explode?
Liquid
You don't
smoke.
understand.
According to Wikipedia, liquid smoke is a water-soluble yellow to red liquid used for flavoring.
Yeah, I only know this because of cooking class, because we made pulled pork once.
Yeah.
Wait. How did I live my entire life without knowing this?
Because it's a
You
tiny
live in
ass
Texas,
bottle.
too.
It's
What
like
the-
one brand,
know.
and it's on the top shelf, like
I
hide
will
away.
drive. I kid you not. I will drive like half an hour to go to a restaurant that has wood grilled.
Oh,
burgers.
it's nowhere near
I'm-
like wood, like actually wood cooked. But you can buy like an artificial version.
I'm gonna put it in Discord. The picture in Discord. There you
I
go.
feel like
Yeah, because I can't
feel
quite remember the name.
feel
Liquid
like I've been
barbecue
cheated.
smoke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
all right. I'm sorry. I'm taking up way too much time. with
You are.
this.
I felt the
Alright.
need to bring it up, so.
I appreciate it. I feel like my life is gonna go up now. So
In flames.
yeah, while you guys are eating it, Anna is able to follow the trail, and at faster than light speeds as well. So, the thing is, Anna, you notice, you know what the trail should be. I mean, you know what the path should be to get back to Planet Fortune, but about what you estimate about what would have been 3 days into his course, it doesn't veer off. It's almost like it didn't correct. and it just keeps going the direction it was supposed to be going without correcting. And you start following it, and it's just a straight line. It's almost as if you got to a point where you're supposed to make a curve to the left, and you just kept going straight forever and ever and ever.
Or like he had a heart attack at the wheel because of all the greasy food.
It's almost as if it's exactly that.
I don't know. Let's keep going.
We should probably find out before we take wild exaggeration. Probably not even gonna. Let's just go with all your crazy theories.
Yeah.
So you find a ship, drifting at it's faster than light speed. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's actually drifting at sublight speeds at this point.
Oh.
And you're able to pull out of sublight speeds and come alongside it. And it's still traveling in a straight line.
Okay.
If we hail it, does it answer?
No, it does not. There's no response.
So we're gonna have to board.
Yep.
Yup.
Anna will give a warning of this instead of just jumping straight on.
So, since the Second Chance is a smaller vehicle and has been sometimes used for smuggling, it is capable of connecting with other ships. You would actually use one of your escape pod hatches, which in this new ship you haven't had to use yet, but is excuse me. Your escape pods in the new design are actually the ladders. Exactly. Those ladders right there. They're not really ladders; they're stairs. But there's these two pods right here. You can basically connect alongside one of these. Roll me a piloting check, Anna. A penalty to it because you're both not a big one though. So we'll say make it harder by 10 because you're both moving, but in space. As long as you match speed, it's like you're not moving. So.
That still makes it.
Okay. You're able to connect just fine. And you can tell that life support systems are active in the other ship.
Okay. That's a good start.
Boarding.
Should we put power armor on first or just SDC?
I mean, it depends on if the environment is currently active in the other.
Yeah, the life support is active.
I'm more thinking in case if there's a violent threat.
Oh.
I'll put on my body armor, my MDC body armor. Bringing a couple of SDC pistols and a couple of MDC pistols. And I will be ready to board.
Okay. I know the session's getting a bit towards the end, so I'll, if it's okay, I'll move things on a little bit.
Okay.
You guys board the ship, and you find that the lights are on. There doesn't seem to be any signs of damage or scoring or burns or anything of that nature. It's a fairly small ship. You do see that the cargo bay is absolutely loaded with white crates that you can assume are probably the vaccines. And from what you can see, there is massive doses of it. And when you make your way to the cockpit, you will find an elderly gentleman slumped over.
All right. I'll take off one of my gloves and check to see if he's alive.
There is no pulse, and his body has gone cold.
He's just lazy. Didn't feel like it for like multiple days.
I understand that too much.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what the procedure would be. I almost want to tow it back to the station. But first things first, I think we should mark where this ship is, take the medical supplies, deliver those, and then come back for the ship.
Yeah, stop the ship, of course.
Yeah, stop the ship, of course.
Sure. Anna, okay. I know I don't want to keep making you roll for things, but roll me a piloting check real quick.
Bonus penalties?
Yeah, make it harder by 15. There's an unknown. I mean, there's a class of ship that you're trained in, but It's unknown ship. Yeah. Okay. So you can muddle your way through to stop the ship and even fly it if you had to.
Yeah.
Though it'd be kind of creepy with your co-pilot there.
Move the body first.
No,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
Kittle.
there's literally there's another seat. You could just sit down in the other seat.
Well, if she actually had to physically fly it, then just
Right.
move the body so it's not in the same room.
Yeah, kid's gonna move the body out of the cockpit.
All right.
Yeah.
So you stop the ship now. Stop the ship and then transfer the supplies over.
Yeah.
Okay. It wouldn't take too long. If everyone on the ship helped out, you could get everything transferred over in about 15, 20 minutes or so.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid's
no,
just carrying a tower of boxes.
Yeah, basically, it would take up this much space in the cargo bay, which is actually still quite a lot if you think about it. So, all right. So you stop the ship. You remove the body from the cockpit. You marked where it is, and then sent a message, or are you just going to come back for it? What's the plan?
I'm not entirely sure what we should do. Like, what's the procedure? Like, could we technically tow it while connected to it?
Can we send them a message to go, hey, what do you want us to do with this?
Okay, first things first. Your ship doesn't really have anything to tow with. You could probably jerry-rig something, but that would involve a lot of time. You'd have to somehow connect cables to both ships, and your ship's not just, you don't have a tractor beam or anything. You're not designed to tow. So you could have someone else fly it. You could, if you were crazy, try and fly them together while attached. That's a bad idea, though, Anna. You would know that.
Why don't we just go deliver the supplies, the vaccinations, then go back to the truck stop and tell them exactly the coordinates and he died.
Well, can't we just send them a message?
We could. I don't know how long it would take. GM.
All right.
Not too long.
Okay.
Yeah, this civilization has faster than light, so.
Lucas goes, you guys are complicating the issue as he walls over. Where's the button on this?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the talkie bit. Where's the talkie bit?
Put that button, Lucas.
Alright. He starts pressing a few buttons, trying to connect to a general channel. Assuming his last talkie channel or whatnot. Jim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I heard all of that, but it didn't formulate into an idea for me for some reason. I'm really tired.
So I'm basically trying to get. You know how truckers have radios that they talk to each other with and all the other biz?
Like a CB.
Yes, that. Trying that.
Yeah. Okay. You try it out and you hear after a minute. This is Papa Armor Smoker. Who has this come over?
Yeah, this is Lucas Flapjack. We're looking for well, look, okay, so we come across a dead trucker. What do we do?
We did not kill him.
Dead trucker.
Yeah.
How'd they die?
Looks over. Look has a sudden case of just dying.
Old man. Old man,
that's a
probably a
shame.
heart attack.
That's a shame. No, that happens every once in a while, Lucas Flapjack. Yeah, especially it's out here so rural like that. Just pass on the coordinates back over to I guess the closest station to you would probably be Station Terry over there. And they'll have someone come pick it up. Real sad that it happens.
412, good sir. Over and beyond, as he.
Over and beyond, good buddy. And then-
Lucas has a little dumb smile on his face.
Oh God.
All right, let's do that. See,
Yep, that's all.
All right, so you pass the message along back to the Trig station, and then continue on to the planet. Which at your speeds, again, even correcting for the course, you could make at this point in less than an hour. You can get back there and hail them, and they would say, "You're back very quickly. Is something wrong?"
We have the medicine. Your truckers seem to have passed away mid-transport.
Oh, that's horrible. I mean, it's. I'm grateful that's great news. I mean, but sad. There's been enough death already. I hate to hear more of it, but thank you so much. I'm giving you coordinates right now. Fly into a high orbit, and if you can release them at this orbiting speed in this vector, it will make its way to us. And I cannot tell you how much the thousands down here who this will save. Thank you.
You have another trucker set up? Possibly?
We have made contact with our provisional government to find a replacement. Yes, we just feared it wouldn't have made it in time.
Okay. Then we'll drop off the medicine.
Again, thank you. I don't even know your names, but if there's some way we could repay you. We're very poor overall, but know that you always have friends here.
Will do.
And then you follow the directions, you go into high orbit, you release it at that certain vector, and watch as it plummets towards the ground. And with that, we'll end the session here.
Yeah.
You guys did good deed.
Yeah.
It wasn't pirates. Just heart attacks.
And get this, all you other pen and paper players out there. They did it for apparently no reward.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Apparently.
We're not going to get a satisfactory one.
Yeah.
We
That's
like
like
doing
unheard of.
good.
Burgers.
That's like unheard of.
We like
We did get
doing
greasy burgers, that's true.
Yeah, we like doing good, but also being like morally
Assholes.
gray and doing bad shit every once in a while. Like we're just
We're trying to
depending on the mood,
balance.
we're just down to kill somebody or just steal their shit.
This is true.
It's like a 70-30 split.
Yeah, something like
Which is
that.
70, which is 30.
just don't catch him on the weekend. You'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, with another episode of 3 Galaxies. Don't forget to check out Riffs every Sunday. Sultana.
Bye.
Bye.